Supercalifragilisticexpialidocious. So, Mary Poppins has returned. Yes, good old Mary Poppins. What do I think about Mary Poppins Returns? Might be my second or third favorite movie of the year. And I'm not even making this up. This movie has so much fun and spirit and magic. This movie is magical. Yeah, I really enjoyed Mary Poppins Returns. It was very, very similar to the original one, which I love so much. The original Mary Poppins from 1964 is just about as close as you can get to a perfect movie. It really is. Yeah, I do believe Mary Poppins, the original, is a perfect movie, regardless of what the original creator of the property has to say. But Mary Poppins Returns is very, very similar to the original, both in structure and in the themes and the overall storyline, but it's different enough, and it has enough connections to the original, but also tells its own story and its own version of the story that it works. I don't even know what to say. First of all, the visuals, both the 2D animated style that the original is famous for, as well as the new sort of contemporary special effects. Those worked incredibly well. It almost feels like it should be two separate movies, but it isn't. It has that mix, and it works, and you feel like it's a Mary Poppins movie. Now let's talk a little bit about the woman herself, Emily Blunt. It is almost impossible to believe that such a strong, charismatic, muscle-bound woman can be a tough and almost borderline ruthless character in Edge of Tomorrow, and just a few years later, she's Mary Poppins, and she's the sweetest person you'll ever meet, and it works. And she's definitely a worthy successor to Julie Andrews, the original Mary Poppins. I think Julie Andrews should be proud that an actress of the caliber of Emily Blunt took over that role from her, that she made iconic over 50 years ago. So, Mary Poppins, played by Emily Blunt, is almost as close to perfection, just like the original Mary Poppins, played by Julie Andrews. As far as Lin-Manuel Miranda playing Jack, who was a sort of a new take on the Bert character popularized by Dick Van Dyke in the original, he's not Dick Van Dyke. I fully admit that. But it works. Like I said, the movie works. All the moving parts that you just say to yourself in your mind, this shouldn't work, this shouldn't happen, this shouldn't be as good as it is. But like I said, it is. And Jack, played by Lin-Manuel Miranda, first of all, the singing and the dancing and just his overall part in the story. Like I said, it works. Then there's Jane and Michael, the original kids from the first Mary Poppins, all grown up, played by completely different actors. Their dynamic is probably the weakest part of the movie, but much like the original, and if you watch the original and Saving Mr. Banks, a double feature, you know that Mary Poppins really isn't there to help the children, per se. She's there to improve the lives of the parents by way of teaching the children new stuff. And much like in the original, it works. And it's even more obvious in this movie, and you'll know exactly what I'm talking about once you actually see the movie itself. But the relationship between Mary Poppins and the children who are now grown up, it almost feels like the last 50 years never really happened. And it really is just the same Mary Poppins going to the same house and interacting with the same two children who are now grown up and have children of their own. Now let's talk about a little bit about the actual children in the movie. They're a little different from the way Jane and Michael were back in the original. Definitely an unexpected twist on that part, and you'll know exactly what I'm talking about once you actually see it, but despite all that, the teachings of Mary Poppins and the way Mary Poppins treats these children, it also works, and it blends in perfectly with the overall theme of the movie. Then there's the songs. The songs are all completely new songs. There's no returning songs from the original, unfortunately. But I guess it's okay. I didn't really expect there to be too much. But these new songs, they work. They're all good. Unlike the previous movie, where pretty much all the songs are instantly iconic and instantly recognizable. Yeah, there are a few songs in this version that I would easily leave out, or I would easily say that they're not quite as memorable as some of the other songs. But the songs themselves are beautiful, they work, the performance of the songs themselves, the way the songs fit into the overall storyline, the way that these songs have an internal story to tell, it works. The villain of the movie, and this is where the movie kind of takes on a different turn from the original. The original didn't necessarily have much in the way of a villain or an antagonist. It was really just a movie about a nanny teaching the father a lesson by way of his children. This was similar to that, but there was an actual villain in this movie. I guess it's just a sign of the times, or maybe it's even in the original book, because this movie, by the way, is based on a book, which is a direct sequel to the original Mary Poppins. And yeah, the villain is probably the weakest part of the movie. Even though it's handled very well, I believe it kind of takes away from the experience of Mary Poppins, that now there's an actual bad guy that you need to look out for, and you're less focused on the journey that these kids are making and the life lessons they're learning, and your attention is also driven elsewhere towards this character, and you really root for him to fail. Well, I think we've just covered all the bases. The songs, Emily Blunt and Lin-Manuel Miranda, the parents, the children. Meryl Streep has a very short sequence in the movie, which is very much a repeat of a very specific sequence from the original, and you'll know exactly what I'm talking about once you watch it, and if you've watched the original, you know exactly which sequence I'm referring to. But even though it's not quite as iconic, as memorable as that sequence, it works, and it's Meryl Streep, so everything she touches turns to gold, most of the time at least. So, yeah, Mary Poppins Returns, one of the best movies of the year. Definitely a very, very worthy addition to the Mary Poppins universe, and a very fun and enjoyable movie to watch with your family on the holidays. So, I really recommend you to watch this movie and have fun. That's really the best that I can say. So, goodbye now. Hello again, everybody. I hope you liked this video, and if you did, please remember to like, share, and subscribe to my channel, where I do all kinds of weird stuff like showcase all these things, trailer reactions, movie reviews, all kinds of fun stuff. So, until next time, I'll see you guys next time.